Hello YouTube. Today I'm going to talk about emulation with your phone or Android iPhone, whatever. I thought the previous video was going to be almost my last video, but I remember that there is like emulation on your phone. Phones do arrange in a wide variety in prices, but like this Sony Xperia Z, I think it's C6603. When it's brand new, these phones can cost as much as I think I paid €600, and if you try to find one of these used, you can get them for like 50 euros up and down depending on condition and stuff like that. But phones, I would say you can find a decent phone for around 50 euros and up. There are like flagship phones for like iPhones and stuff like that for 800 and stuff like that. So somewhere, I don't really know. But let's get to the phone. The phones run Android, so pretty much it's the same apps and emulators that you use on your Android boxes. Um, you can just start the emulator, arrange them something like this, and use a Bluetooth controller, or you can hook it up with the micro USB inside your phone, or you can hook them up with like an MHL adapter, so it goes like the charge. Put the charger in, and then you put the micro USB in, and then a HDMI cable connected to your TV. Things I had issues with that is might be some video slight stuttering, or pretty much the same with every Android based emulation. It's really good on the phone. It's almost instant, but with connected to a TV, it's like a micro lags and stuff like that. But overall, phones, you can take them anywhere. You can connect them to Wi-Fi. You can connect them to use emulators, and it really comes down to the performance of your phone, how what emulator you can use, and the stability. But overall, it's a fairly cheap and good thing to emulate on. If you use an MHL adapter, you're not going to run out of power, since it's powering your and charging your phone all the time. But if you're using just want to use the phone as your screen, try to look in that you have a decent battery life, because it's not very fun just to play like in a half an hour, then the battery runs out, and maybe you're using the micro USB for your controller in. So try to find a decent battery life for it. It's getting started. 1 to 5. 5 is the hardest. 1 is the easiest. I would say 1. It's super easy. Just go into Google Play, get your emulator, then you find a way to back up your original games to the system. You can put them usually on your SD card and or internal storage, and try to avoid Android 4.4. I really hate that. It's really bad, since you have to share internal storage with your apps, and sometimes you can't even fit one app before the internal storage is full. So trying to find one that runs Android 5 or 6 or something like that, so you don't run into this issue. And or trying to find a phone with a good internal storage and have a decent micro SD support as well. So phones overall is pretty much same as the Android box, but and also if you buy something like the Sony line, the hardware, I would say that the hardware is more stable than the Android boxes. The Android boxes you have to search. Some models are good, some are bad. The phones like this one is great. It works with it has stable Wi-Fi. It has stable performance with the apps and the system itself. So I would probably just buy this instead of an Android box. Also, depending on it can depends on as well if mm, some want the more the connectors on the Android boxes. It's like the Ethernet and HDMI that's built in this one. You have to buy like adapters. So additional cost for this would be controllers, SD cards, and maybe an MHL adapter if you don't have one, but that's fairly cheap. So um, you can might as well, if you have like just the motherboard, you could connect that to the MHL adapter. So depending on if you want to use it or not. So I would say this one is good as well. Maybe the better alternative for Android. So some there are some Android based console like Retron 5 and stuff like that, but Retron 5 what I heard had issues with the card connectors and the power supply, so reliability is not might not be that good. So but that's as well as this Android based system. So the only difference is you using your original cards. So I don't have Retron, the Retron 5, so I can't really talk about that. I just have read about it. So I think I have just covered much of this. But if you have any questions or want me to add something in a future video or something, or you want to share your opinion about this, please comment or send a video response or something like that, so I can see what your thoughts about it is, or you can give me some tips. But for now, thank you for watching and have a nice day.